everyone. I'm Tomer Weller, and some of you might remember me from yesterday's sessions. And I'm back today to help close out Meridian with a look at our tech strategy for Stellar in 2022. So first, let's take a look at what we prioritized for 2021. So 1 year ago, we announced our 2021 focus would be liquidity. And it was. Liquidity was on the top of the list because the ability to move freely between different assets is at the core of enabling cross-border payments and financial inclusion. And to that end, we work with our ecosystem, hosting roundtables and protocol discussions. We kicked the tire in a bunch of different ways so we could improve liquidity for the network. And this resulted in a string of projects, from launching Stellar USDC, as well as various collaborations with market makers and exchanges. And this ultimately led to the adoption of protocol-level AMMs, automated market makers, earlier this month. And in less than 2 weeks since launch, we've already observed more than $14 million of total value in liquidity pools. That's according to StellarX. And that number is increasing every day. More than that, 40 to 50% of swaps, path payments in Stellar, are consistently going through the AMMs. That means that AMMs are providing more efficient asset conversions than Index 2 weeks after launch, which is pretty wild. So the success really shows the importance of having focused goals. And in 2022, we're going to continue investing in our core strengths. We're going to make sure that Stellar is a robust network. Stellar is the Toyota Prius of blockchains. It might not be the shiniest, but it's dependable, sustainable, and always works no matter what. As a testament, even when the SDF validators were down in April, the network kept processing transactions in a timely manner. As a matter of fact, even with increased load this year, the network processes 99% of ledgers closed within 7 seconds. So I want to repeat, over the past 6 months, 99% of the ledgers closed within 7 seconds to finality. That's pretty awesome. Interoperability. We have the Anchor network. They're built on a rich set of interoperability standards, and those standards are going to continue growing. And we'll need to adapt to the needs of the financial institutions that are building on Stellar. MoneyGram's recent integration, for example, which went live in less than a month, proves the power of having an open ecosystem built on open standards with a plethora of open source tools. So building on these core strengths, here are our priorities for 2022. So I see 3 key areas of opportunity for us. First, layer 1 scalability. In addition to our payment channels work, we're also seeing an increased level of on-chain activity, and we want to ensure Stellar is able to seamlessly handle this load as more and more payment networks are integrated. Second, we want to extend our interoperability story beyond traditional finance and into other growing cryptocurrency ecosystem by building bridges. And third, Stellar has been incredible at growing with trusted innovators like our Anchor network. But now we want to expand and further explore trust minimized innovation. So expanding the work that we started with AMMs in order to explore and prepare for future innovation, technologies that we haven't even considered yet. So let me get a bit more specific over each of these things. L1 scalability. So in the past, we've avoided measuring scalability in terms of transactions per second, or TPS. And why is that? Performance is nuanced. It depends on many variables, such as network topology, validator hardware, shape of traffic, amongst others. And some of our competitors make bold claims about TPS. These are often based on perfect condition tests with high-end expensive hardware, which, if your stated goal is financial inclusion, doesn't really make a lot of sense. So we want to do better at that. We believe our ecosystem deserves an accurate and transparent measure of Stellar's performance. So over the past 5 years, we've been collecting information about the public network. We know the shape of real payments traffic. We understand hardware constraints and the networking resources available to the validator community. We also have a very deep understanding of the networking resources that are available to the validator community. Using this information, we've been able to build realistic network simulation models, and we are now committing to continuously measure and publish sustained max TPS figures starting in 2022. Our first milestone will be to reach 5,000 TPS in 2022. Why 5,000? From speaking with our partners and tracking metrics of real payment systems, we believe that's more than enough as a starting point to facilitate the growth of the network in the coming years. So how do we get to 5,000? A big part of that is SpeedX. SpeedX is a new approach for building a decentralized exchange based on batch trading. It was conceived by Jeff Ramsar, who is a Stanford PhD candidate, and he also happens to be a researcher here at the SDF. I highly recommend checking out Jeff's tech talk from last week and blog post about SpeedX. These were just released from Meridian. But if we take a closer look at how it works, the gist of SpeedX is that by turning trades into commutative operations, we achieve an equal level of access to markets across our users. We also combat front running or risk-free front running. And this point is important because one of the biggest flaws of decentralized exchanges is the ability to front run because of open participation. SpeedX solves that. And most importantly, it allows us to achieve scalability via parallelism, which takes advantage of modern multi-core processor architecture. And SpeedX is a unique fit for Stellar because it requires trading to be done at the base level in the base protocol. You cannot implement this as a smart contract on some other smart contract network. Moving to our next priority, cryptocurrency bridges. Stellar was built to bridge between payment systems, and we've done so successfully through a set of trusted, interoperable on and off ramps. Our anchor network is exactly that. The next frontier of interoperability is bridging to other cryptocurrency ecosystems. Now, we live in a multi-chain world, and that's great. We're excited about that. And Stellar already provides users expanded access to a global network of fiat assets. Bridging also gives them access to a growing selection of innovative financial services outside of the network. So this is what we're going to do. First, we'll continue to support ongoing efforts to develop bridges by ecosystem teams. Flare is one example. Pendulum is another example. Speaking about Pendulum, you can see their preview video as part of Meridian. It's pretty cool. We're also launching a work group that includes Stellar engineers, both in the SDF and other ecosystem companies, making sure our tech stack is ready for these type of bridges. And finally, I'm happy to announce bounties. So I'm happy to announce that we're introducing a new bounty program for Stellar developers. The bounties program will complement the Stellar Community Fund, SDF, and our R&D grants, allowing developers to work on some of the most interesting, challenging issues in our ecosystem. And the first bounty will be for building trust minimized bridges, cryptocurrency bridges, and we're going to publish the details in the upcoming weeks. Stay tuned. Lastly, we want to ensure Stellar is on the front line of innovation. In 2021, we built AMMs, and this is only the beginning. We're committed to attracting more novel innovation to Stellar. In the next year, my job is to work with folks like you on answering these questions. What new innovation can we bring to Stellar? What might be coming around the corner that we need to get ready for? And what is already out there that we haven't considered for the network? We just talked about SpeedX, that promotes equality of access and eliminates front running. And we're also looking at a variety of other ways to encourage innovation on Stellar, while also preserving the robust nature of it. And this is where you come into the picture. What would you like to see in the next Stellar? What would you like to see next in the Stellar ecosystem? And as we continue to build out Stellar together, we want everyone involved. So if you're a developer, engineer, designer, sorry, anyone building on the Stellar network, please join us on the Stellar Developer Discord server and the Stellar Dev mailing list, and we can do this together.